All right, welcome back. So someone asked on Discord, or maybe it was a YouTube comment, I can't remember. I think it might have been a YouTube comment actually. And that was, what is a possible effect of a Bitcoin ETF being approved? What kind of effect would that have on the Grayscale Bitcoin GBTC trust? What effect would that be? I don't know if we've talked about this before, or I mentioned this before, but I figured I'll shoot a video about it. My guess is we're going to have a Bitcoin ETF approved, at least one of them. I would be really surprised if we don't. I would be really, really surprised. So we'll know by January 10th. Sometime between January 5th and January 10th is when we expect to hear something from the SEC in terms of what's going on. So, and a number of companies have filed for an ETF. We got BlackRock, we got Fidelity, we got a whole bunch of them. So I'm hoping that one gets approved, because it'll be really good news overall for the crypto market. Overall, it'll be awesome news. I know I saw something where Fidelity was in talks with the SEC last month, or this month, actually, it's still December. And they were meeting with them to kind of finalize some of the details about how their ETF would work. And they had been assigned a ticker symbol of FBTC, for Fidelity BTC. So hopefully, Fidelity at least gets approved for a Bitcoin ETF. And it's weird to me that they would approve multiple ETFs, because it's like, why would you confuse people by putting out multiple ETFs? But whatever. But I'm just assuming that at least one of them is going to be approved. So if we go with that assumption, and we just assume that one is going to be approved, what kind of impact does that have on the GBTC trust that is currently available through Grayscale? It'll probably piss Fidelity off, or Grayscale off, because Grayscale had applied to convert the GBTC trust to Bitcoin ETF, but they were denied. And then they went to court, and the court said, well, you got to give them another chance. So I don't know if Grayscale is going to get approved or not. I have no idea if GBTC would be approved to spot ETF. I would hope it would be, because otherwise I feel like it's going to screw over investors in GBTC, because if there's an ETF on the market that's like from Fidelity, for example, and it's a spot ETF for Bitcoin, you don't need to pay a premium. Why the hell would you get into GBTC, where a premium might be on top of the basic price? It's like I think people would be more likely to just invest into the spot Bitcoin ETF, like FBTC, if Fidelity gets theirs approved, and if that's the ticker. So that's kind of my thinking on this. If Grayscale gets the GBTC trust to be converted to an ETF, it will either benefit or hurt current investors with GBTC. I haven't checked the premiums on GBTC. If there's a discount right now, it would benefit investors, because the value of their portfolio would rise, discounts would come off. So it would be a good thing for them. If there's a premium on there right now, which I don't know, I haven't checked, it would hurt investors, because the value of their portfolio would come down in value, because the premiums would be coming off, and they'd be going down to spot price. So that's how that would work. So we'll see. Because Grayscale, could be a contender. Like maybe Grayscale will get their ETF approved. They wanted to convert GBTC to a spot ETF. So I would think the SEC, if they're going to approve Fidelity or anybody else, they would at least give Grayscale a shot and make that thing a possibility. But it's the government, and you don't know what's going to happen with the government. So I don't know for sure, but that would be my guess. But overall, if the GBTC trust stands alone, and there's also an ETF beside it, I think more people would go into the spot ETF. Just that's going to be where all the news coverage is, right? And that's what's going to draw people in. Now, the existing investors in GBTC might not jump ship. They might just stay in GBTC and trade. But my guess is, if that's the case, there probably won't be very high premiums in play during the bull run on GBTC. So that's actually one of the reasons that I didn't invest in GBTC. Well, for two reasons. One, I think the underlying price performance of Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash can do better than Bitcoin, in my opinion. And not financial advice, none of this is, just my opinion. I think that's what it could do. And what I saw from premiums, when I look back at last crypto bull run, the premiums on a GBTC were pretty thin in comparison to Litecoin, the LTCN trust, and the BCHG trust. So just kind of my opinion. So I don't, it's like, I'm really hoping that Grayscale gets approved to convert GBTC to a spot ETF at the same time that Fidelity, BlackRock, others get approved. And again, because otherwise it's not fair. It screws over investors who are in GBTC and have been for a long time. And it kind of screws over Grayscale, that was like first on the block for doing this kind of thing. And it also, as I mentioned before, it's confusing as hell to me why they would allow multiple spot Bitcoin ETFs. Because from a retail investor's perspective, it makes it kind of confusing as to like, what do you go into? But I don't know. I think the confusion would be okay. I don't know. It's just weird to have multiple spot ETFs. It's like there should be one. This is also why, like I've talked about before, I'm glad we don't have Litecoin ETFs and Bitcoin Cash ETFs, because it would destroy the advantage we have with the premiums in the Grayscale funds that I've been talking about. And that would be a huge downside. So, but next crypto bull run, we'll probably have ETFs for Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash, I'm guessing, and the LTCN, the BCHG trust, either won't exist or they won't really be viable for making a ton of money in comparison to the spot ETFs. But okay, I'm kind of diverging from the Bitcoin ETFs, but that's my opinion on how things work and how they might work. Ultimately, we're going to find out. I'm really, really looking forward to the first 2 weeks in January, because we're going to find out like what the deal is with the SEC, with them approving companies to get in and actually have these spot ETFs. I would be surprised as heck if we do not get at least one approved, and I'm hoping that Grayscale gets approved, like actually the GBTC would be converted to a spot ETF. I think that would be good, because if that doesn't happen, it'll hurt the performance, I think, of GBTC and put GBTC investors at a disadvantage. It's not something that I'm really looking at getting into. I have a little bit in GBTC, not much. I just wanted to kind of see how it was going to go, just a little bit, but not much at all. So anyway, that's it. Hope you guys are doing well. If you have questions about anything or would like to know more, click the link down below in the pinned comment to get to our Discord server. We have over 1,200 people now. It's growing like crazy. Over 1,200 people from all around the world that talk about cryptocurrency, Grayscale investing, dividend investing, stuff like that. So definitely check out Discord if you haven't. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, you guys take care.